In this problem, which is kind of loaded here, we want to first express scientific notation, and then we want to round to 3 sig figs. Okay, so what I do is I write out the number. This does not have a decimal place, so I add 1, and I need to move that 6 times to make a nice scientific notation. Okay, so that's why I have a 6 there. Now this is a big number, it's greater than 1, it's a very large, huge number, so that's why we have a positive exponent, not a negative 6 up there, but a positive 6. You don't have to show the plus. You can, but it's just confusing. Now we want this to be 3 sig figs. I point an arrow at the next digit over, and if it's less than 5, I round it down, so that's going to be 5.10 10 to the 6th liters. So this is where I would add in the units at the very end and box that up so I'm done. This next example, we have 26,711. Put in my decimal place, and let's see, we need to move this 1, 2, 3, 4 times to make it nice scientific notation. It's a big number, much greater than 1, so it's 10 to the positive 4, okay? And we want to round this off to 3 sig figs, so we want to point an arrow at the next digit up above beyond that. Is this number less than 5? Yes, we round it down. I'll add my units in at the very end, seconds, and I'll box that guy up to represent completionist, okay? Here we already have a decimal place, that's great. I need to move that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So, that's not correct. Here's my decimal place. Okay, I need to move that 1, 2, 3 times and stop. Okay, so I have 3.378 times 10 to the minus 3. Now, why is it negative 3? This is a small number. It's less than 1, so it's going to have a negative exponent. So that's why it's a negative 3 there. Okay, and we move the decimal place just until we create a ones position. So the 3 is in the ones position, everything else is in the decimal. Now we want to round this off to 3 sig figs, so I point an arrow at the next one over. And is that 5 or higher? Yes, so it means I round it up. So instead of 3.37, it's going to be 3.38. So I changed that 7 to an 8. I rounded it up. And that's still times 10 to the minus 3. Don't forget the scientific notation part. We add in the units, and I have my final answer. In this problem right here, we have a decimal place. I just need to move it 1 to the left to make it scientific notation. Okay, and that's really just times 10, right? If I times by 10, it'll move to the right. 10 to the first, I should say. Okay, and we want this to be 3 sig figs, right? And so I look at the next digit over. Is it 5 or more? Yes, I'm going to round it up. But if I round this up, I can't round that from 9 to 10. It's going to be, you know, like that. So the 6 is going to change to a 7, and then that's going to be a 0. Okay, so let me kind of explain it in a little bit better detail. I'm going to round this up, so I'm going to add 0.01 to this. And if you do the math, right, you can carry the 1. That's going to be 7.5, right? So that's what happens when you round it up. You round it up by one value, the 9 changes to a 10 basically, right? So the next one over has to round up. So that's going to be 5.70 times 10 to the first, which just means 10. And I'll put a G on there for grams, so that's all tidied up and done. So watch out, when you round it up, if you have a 9, then you have to go back one digit and, you know, consider it. Okay, it's kind of like addition with carrying. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you review these answers and these questions. Thanks for watching.